All right, we're trying this again. All right, are we back? I have no idea what that was all about. Let's see if we can get people back into the stream. Sorry about that. Man, I'm telling you, I think my internet, yeah, round two. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Appreciate your patience. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet service provider. I've been having some drops lately and it has been frustrating. And so, I mean, I've got everything hardwired. My computer was rebooted and everything before the stream. Should be good to go. Yeah, we paid the electricity bill, Larry. As you can see, all the lights here. Yep, tech problems. That's the joys of streaming live, right? It's always something, it seems like. So we'll kind of wait for some people to get back in here and let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Looks like, is there a bit of a delay or anything? Let me know how we're looking. Everything good? Sounds good. No delay. Thank you. All right, guys. We're going to try that again. So, welcome to another episode of Apple Home Talk Live, where we will most definitely run into some issues at some point. But no, we're here to talk about Apple Home and smart home stuff and just hang out for a little while. We got some news and things to talk about. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Looks like we're getting most of the viewers back. So thank you so much for coming over. I had to end that last stream, rebooted my streaming software. I really don't know what the issue was. Again, I'm assuming it's ISP related. As I have been having some issues with that lately. So we'll hopefully I can work on that and get that all sorted out. But we're going to keep on rolling here because I think we're good to go as of now. So let's make the most of it. I hope you guys are doing well. Again, last week, I was not streaming last week. Took a week off because I was really sick. I just came down with some cold or sinus infection or something like that. You could probably still hear it in my voice a little bit. But but feeling much better and we're back at it. So yeah, we will do questions here in a little bit. I see some questions coming in. You can feel free to drop questions if you want. Dwayne, good to see you represent the SEC. That's right. 9-3 football season for us Gamecock fans. Had to represent today, as well as much better than my 6-6 Hogs. Yeah, yeah. It looked, man. Carolina's looking good this year, so I've been pleasantly surprised. This football season. Looks like we're probably going to get robbed of a playoff shot. I was thinking we might be able to make it with their little winning streak they've been on, playing a tough schedule, but don't think they're going to make it to the playoffs, unfortunately. So, but it's been a good year for Gamecocks, and we beat Clemson, so you know that's always fun. If you have a question, preface your comment with the word question, please, and I will try to save these once we get to the question section. I did see in the last stream before we had those issues that we had a new member, Derek. So Derek, if you're here still, thank you for joining as a channel member. And to the rest of you guys, all you channel members here in the chat, thank you for the support. We are doing our monthly member video chat on Discord today after the live stream. So come hang out. That's right there in our Discord server. So would love to see everybody there. That's always a lot of fun. Think of it as like a Zoom call kind of with me and all the channel members and stuff. And we talk about, you know, smart home stuff, more smart home talk. And, you know, sometimes we get off course and talk about other random things too. But those are always a lot of fun, so looking forward to doing that. That's on the first Wednesday of every month. We do that after the stream. So, oh, nice. We got Monk's Corner in the house. What's going on, Michael? Good to see you here. Always fun to see South Carolina representing in the chat. Got some football fans here. Yeah, my computer caught the virus, right? Hopefully not. So we got some things to jump. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the things again. Aaron, what's up, Aaron? Nice to see you here. We'll go ahead and start with that because that was one of the things on my list to talk about. So Aaron Pierce, if you guys don't know, is the developer of some fantastic Apple Home apps, and there has just been a new update to, well, I guess you would call it a new update. HomePass 2 is officially out now. So this is the app that I use. I use a couple for this, but this is a great app for storing your HomeKit and Matter codes. HomePass 2 is now available. So he reworked the whole app from the ground up. So I always recommend saving your HomeKit codes, or I guess we should just say Matter codes now. I've got probably more Matter codes than anything at this point. But this app is great for that. And let's see, there was an article here that kind of covered some of the changes. Let's see. So there's new features that were added to the app, and Aaron, feel free to chime in if you like. Nice, first time seeing that fancy Apple card or event card. So you can now add photos and notes and stuff other there. Full QR code support. So this is really nice. So if you see, I keep getting that pop-up up there too with the streaming software. I don't know what that's about. Sorry, but yeah, you can now. So what's great about this is if you have to reset a device or something like that in the future, maybe you lose the original box or you don't have the HomeKit code, you can pull up this app on any one of your devices. It'll present you with that same QR code, and you can just scan it just like the original. You can add notes and all kinds of stuff. It'll automatically recognize the HomeKit apps or the HomeKit devices, on your network, so you can just bring those in. It's a really great app. Highly recommend that. Check that out. He did move to a subscription model for this, but I know Aaron is always working to improve the apps that he makes. Let's see. And I should note too, all existing HomePass users will be able to get the upgrade for free to the HomePass 2, at least right now. So, and then moving forward, subscription based for everyone else, $199 a month or $10 a year. $10 a year is well worth it, I think, for that. So, oh, nice. And Aaron says, got a lot more changes coming in the next few weeks as I catch issues or weird edge cases I missed. Yes. And Aaron, like so many other independent app developers, works very hard on these apps. So I'm always a fan of supporting them any way we can. So check out the app if you haven't. It's a great way to store your HomeKit codes. And he's got some other good HomeKit apps too that I use. So you can check those out. I think here, this is Aaron's website here, and this is a little blog. But here's some of the other apps. HomeCam, good one. Home Run, Home Log. Yeah, so, oh yeah, Home Paper. Stop forgetting about Home Paper sometimes. That's a cool one too. So lots of good home apps from Aaron for your HomeKit setup there. And speaking of apps, there was also an update recently to the controller for HomeKit app. I can't remember if we talked about this in a live stream. I don't think we did. But controller 7.4 now supports something that they're calling hub mode. Now, I haven't had a chance to play with this, but this looks pretty good. Controller for HomeKit's a very powerful HomeKit app. It's another one that I highly recommend to serious HomeKit users especially. And with this, they had this new hub mode. Again, I haven't had a chance to do this, but you have the ability to use advanced triggers now, such as webhooks or shortcuts. And there's new actions like delays, accessory state restoration. That could be nice. Notification sending. And you can do things like blink your lights, all kinds of stuff here. I haven't really messed around with the workflows a whole lot in the controller for HomeKit app, but that's pretty intriguing. If anybody has, let me know. in the chat if you have, or if you currently use or like any of these apps that we're talking about. So I was just replying to a comment, I think yesterday, somebody was asking about, the comment was, what do I do if I lost my HomeKit Matter code? I think it was a Matter code. And I said, well, you're kind of screwed if you don't have it, if it's not on the original box or whatever. So definitely use these apps so you don't lose those codes. Home Devices is, Home Devices is another really good app that I like. Actually, they were two separate entities, Home Devices and the Controller for HomeKit app, and they joined forces, I believe, somewhere in the past year or so. But yeah, great stuff. And on that note, I will mention, thanks for sharing that. So they've created a free course. So this is definitely worth checking out, probably if you're interested in this new hub mode there. So check that out. Some good stuff there. Nice. We got some love here for these apps, like HomeCam, HomePad, and Home Run. Nice. Yeah, Jeff says, my wife loves HomeCam on the Apple TVs. That was actually the reason, gosh, it's been years now, I guess. But the reason I first started using HomeCam also was for the Apple TVs. Very cool. Sue said the 50% off pushed her over the indecision and the learning controller now. Very cool. Yeah. They had, that's a good point. So Controller for HomeKit had 50% off the lifetime license for Black Friday. I'm not sure if that's still in effect or not. But I will say that I had this and other apps and just all the HomeKit and Apple Home related stuff on my blog post for Black Friday. I know a lot of those deals are still in effect. A lot of them will go through the first week or so of December, some maybe even longer. And I've heard that the video that I made and stuff is just a kind of a good overview of smart home products that work with Apple Home, kind of, outside of the whole Black Friday thing. So if you haven't checked that out, there should be a link to it in the description of this live stream if you haven't seen that Black Friday video. But I think a lot of that stuff is still on sale. I know I've been having packages arrive like crazy between my wife and I since Black Friday. Curious if you guys pulled the plug on or pulled the trigger on any new smart home devices during Black Friday. Sue pulled the trigger on that new or on the Controller for HomeKit app. Did anybody else have some new smart home products showing up in the mail here in the past week or so, or will show up in the mail? Moving on to something else that I noticed. There was an article that kind of brought this to my attention. I know we get asked all the time about robot vacuums here and support for Apple Home. Was it WWDC this year? They announced first that robot vacuum support would come to the Apple Home app later this year, is what we were told. Unfortunately, it looks like that's been pushed back. If you look at the iOS 18 website, it still says robot vacuums coming later this year. Excuse me, but it's been noted that if you go to the Home app page on the website, so this is their website for the Home app, down in the fine print, it says right here, feature will be available in early 2025. Controlling robot vacuums with who will be available in English, US only. So that's a new update. It looks like for everyone. Looks like we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to get that robot vacuum support in the Apple Home app. Unfortunately, hopefully by then we'll see more Matter, more Matter supported robot vacuums. There have been a couple here and there. Some have been updating their firmware to support Matter. So that'll be nice. Hopefully when it does come, we'll actually have some robot vacuums that we can use there in the app. But yeah, kind of unfortunate news. Alex, man, thank you so much. Alex just gifted a channel membership. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, and looks like Eric, you were the lucky recipient there. So again, as a channel member, you get access to my member Discord server, which is an awesome place to just go and interact with other people, ask questions and stuff. There's some very knowledgeable people in there, and I'm in there every day answering questions or just interacting. So a lot of fun. And Aaron, thank you so much, Aaron. Aaron gifted 5 memberships as well. Yeah, and Aaron is also in there sometimes. Really cool to see, app developers in there engaging with the community and stuff. I know some of the members actually had early access, I think, to that Home Pass 2 as it was kind of in development. So really cool. Thank you, Aaron, for gifting 5 channel memberships. Let's see, Jeff, Koo, Wilson, Themilis, sorry if I mispronounced your name, and Drew have been gifted memberships. Aaron says that's because someone just bought the lifetime license. Very cool. Awesome. I guess you're getting those real-time updates during the stream. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you for that support too. And yeah, hope to see you guys in there. And again, we do the monthly member chats the first Wednesday of every month. So that's going to be today after this stream. We're going to do a video chat over there. So hope to see you guys there. Another one, Gadget Reviews. Thank you for gifting a membership to, let's see, did I hit the wrong one? I did. Where'd that go? That's the one I was looking for. Thank you. I'll come back to the questions here in just a second. Thank you, Gadget Review Videos. Sorry, Gadget Review Videos. Thank you so much. And Alex says, celebrating 24 months of membership. Man, 2 years. Thank you so much for the support, Alex. Says, we members would love to see another blooper video. Oh, okay. All right. It's been a long time since I've done one of those, hasn't it? I'll have to do that. I'll have to put one together. Lord knows there's plenty of them, plenty of bloopers. As you could probably imagine just from watching these live streams, right? How do you know if you get a gift membership? It shows in the chat who the gifted memberships are going to, and YouTube just kind of randomly, I don't know if it's random or if it has to do with engagement or something, but YouTube will just choose who gets those gifted memberships. Oh, I see some questions coming in. So I'm going to flag these questions, y'all, and I'll come back. Dwayne says biggest savings was Black Friday, BOGO, Govee, 20 pack. So 40 panels for only $200. Not, oh wow, that is a big discount. Very nice. Let's see. All right, I see some questions here. Dylan, I got you. Drinky, I'll go ahead and answer that one real quick. The Sense Plus says, do we know if the Sense Plus, I got one right here. Do we know if this works in HomeKit yet? I still haven't found anything. So far, no. I've been using this for a little while now, and I'd like to do a review video on this because I've been excited about this product for quite a while. I have a lot of Nanoleaf lights here in the studio, which you can see just one or two of them, but I've got them all over the place. So I've been really excited about this. There's some good, and there are definitely some disappointments in it. But I will probably save all that for a full video here coming soon. Mr. H4 celebrates 18 months of membership. Thank you so much. And hello to you as well. I know the little emoji doesn't come through well here in my little chat plugin, but thank you using the HomeKit emoji there as a channel member. I appreciate that support. 18 months. That's great. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jeff says, so glad to see you trying Home Assistant. Enjoyed the video. Home Assistant is where the real smart home magic happens. That's what I keep hearing. That's why I just had to try it out. If you guys haven't seen it, check out the latest video that just dropped. Was it yesterday? Monday or Tuesday? I think it was yesterday. But anyways, there is a link, should be a link to that down in the description of this live stream. So I did finally try Home Assistant, and yeah, it came with some ups and downs and some sleepless nights, but we're up and running. We're using Home Assistant now. Let's see. All right, back to what I was trying to get through. Let's see if we can get through all the news. So HomePass 2 is out. We talked about that. A couple of new products we can discuss here really quick. So here in this article here. So SwitchBot has a couple of relays that we've known about these for a little while, but you can order these now. They're available to pre-order, I believe, with shipping. Yeah, shipping starts December 15th. So there's basically two versions. The difference in the two models is the orange one can be used for single channel circuits, which also includes energy monitoring, while the purple one is for situations where a dry circuit is required. So that's going to be better for like low voltage devices and things like that, like doorbells and stuff. So these are available if you are into the SwitchBot stuff. There are other versions of this type of device by other brands, but this is the first time SwitchBot is doing it. Let's see. Another device that this was on HomeKit News, so we don't know much about this device, but I'm bringing this up, just because I really like presence sensors. I know a lot of you guys do too, and this is interesting because now this isn't available yet. This is just a report that came from this Twitter account and HomeKit.de. And a new company we haven't heard of called Lafer, I guess is how you say that, Lafer. And this is a battery-powered presence sensor, and they're claiming matter over thread. So those are a lot of claims. I hope to see this one day. I hope that's true. But I mean, how many of you guys would love to have a millimeter wave presence sensor that was battery operated? I know I would. That's been one of the most limiting factors in using the presence sensors, like the Aqara FP2 or the FP1E. So you have to plug it in, so, but they work so well. Gadget, I keep saying Gadget Reviews says they are owned by ADOT. I did not know that. Very interesting. I might have to reach out. I think I have a contact from them. So let's see. All right. Yeah, I'm excited about that though. Brian says, speaking of presence sensor, Innovelli is offering built-in presence sensors on their light switches, dimmers, but only for the red and the blue series. Interesting. I didn't know that. So like actual presence sensors, Brian, regarding like millimeter wave, that would be pretty nice. I'll have to check that out. Now also the Eve Thermo, this was just, so this is more of an EU product, but they just released the Matter version of this, and all the existing Eve Thermos out there should get a firmware update to support Matter. So if you use one of these, that could be good news for you. And then another update, Homey now supports dashboards. So this has been in beta for a little while. There's actually been a lot of Homey comments in my Home Assistant video recently. But yeah, I guess a lot of comparisons there to Home Assistant. But Homey has officially released the public version of their dashboards. So this is nice. Great to see if you're a Homey user. Rick says, why send me down another rabbit hole with Home Assistant? I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I said that recently to somebody else. I feel somebody pulled me down, so I figure I'm just taking everybody with me. No, it's a lot of fun, but I try to be as honest as I could in that video. I mean, as always, but I think I was very clear in that video that Home Assistant is not for everybody. So enter into that rabbit hole at your own risk. But it is super powerful, and it's nice. Homey is also very powerful. Tika says, love Homey dashboards. Yeah, I do too. Man, there were many times where I was first getting into Home. I mean, I'm still first getting into Home Assistant, but when I really first started in building out automations, and even still sometimes I really miss some of the basically the UI from Homey. It was just so good, and the automation engine and the UI for that in Homey is just so good. I really do miss that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Homey as well. Yeah, couldn't decide between Homey or Habitat. I think I decided on Habitat, since one of your videos mentioned it's local control rather than cloud. Yeah, it is. And so is Homey, though, as well as Home Assistant. So all of those kind of are in the same boat there. But yeah, Habitat has a lot of the same capabilities. I haven't used Habitat in a little while, probably at least a year now. Same type of capabilities as Homey, although I found just the user experience in Homey to be way better, in my opinion. Just the UI and everything was just much better. Let's see, do we have any other thing? Okay, yeah, that's all. We're gonna get to some questions now. Yeah, it is very expensive. That's true. It was just $50 off for Black Friday, though, so I'm not sure if that's still in effect or not. It might be. It was $50 off, so that definitely helps. All right, lots of questions here. I'm going to save all these and try to come back to as many as we can. All right, we got a bunch of questions I'm going to get to here. Is it better to get devices with Matter or HomeKit capability? I read since Apple might change architecture for HomeKit, getting Matter would be better. I guess that's a consideration. I don't think Apple's going to completely change the underlying architecture for HomeKit. I mean, I don't know that to be a fact, but I would be surprised they did that not too long ago. So I think they're kind of future-proof, and I'd be really surprised to see them just eliminate support for all existing HomeKit devices. I don't think that would happen. Again, I can't tell the future, and if you just want to be safe, I guess you could just go with Matter devices. I've been getting more and more Matter devices myself personally here in the past year. I would say majority of the new devices that I get do support Matter rather than just HomeKit, but I think you're probably okay either way. But if you just want to be safe, go with Matter. I know some people still like to hold off on Matter, but I've got no issues with using Matter products. Sorry, reading some of y'all's comments here. All right, next question. Let's see. Well, it's not a question, but Brian mentioned that Level Lock Bolt is now Matter compatible. So that's pretty awesome. I did see this. Let's see. See if we can find anything about this. Well, I think we did. How about that? Your Level Lock Plus and Level Bolt are ready for Matter. So Level Bolt is the one that just replaces like the inside part of the lock of your lock. So your outer portion of the lock does not change, just the deadbolt. Looking to see if there's like a picture or something here. So that's the, I think that's the level. Oh no, that is the Level Bolt right there. Yeah, so that just replaces the inside. And then the Level Lock Plus replaces the outside. So I actually have one of these, been using one of these for a little while, which is nice. I did have one of these also, Level Bolt, for a long time. I don't think it supports thread though, right? Or does it? Brian, do you know? Let me know, Brian, if you know if this, oh no, it does, before making a switch. Okay, nice. So yeah, that is a big deal, because my biggest complaint with the Level Bolt, it worked fine for me in my use case, but it was slow because it used Bluetooth. And sometimes certain devices, when they use Bluetooth, can just be a little bit slow. So thread should definitely improve the speed on that. So if you have a Level Lock Bolt, you should be good to get that update there. And then the Level Lock Plus, you can also get the update. I've heard some people having some issues trying to get the update, but once you get through that, you should be okay. And you can also buy the Level Lock Plus now with Matter out of the box. So that's really cool. And just a nice product there. Brian says, my Level Lock Plus with Matter over Thread has been way faster. There's a HomeKit issue right now, but I've heard that'll be fixed in 18.2. Okay, so there's a bug with HomeKit. Yeah, I read about that a little bit. So that must be just with the update, because I've been using the Level Lock Plus with Matter out of the box, like the new version, and I have not had any issues with HomeKit or anything else. So, but that's good to know. Thanks, Brian. All right, let's see. Questions. What else we got? Gadget Review says, now that you have played with Home Assistant, if you had it before, would you have spent money on third-party iOS apps still like Controller? That's a good app. Good question. So the Controller for HomeKit app is the one he's talking about. Let's see. You know, I hadn't really thought about this. I think there's still probably a good use case for the Controller for HomeKit app, even if you use Home Assistant, because the Controller for HomeKit app so only if you're using HomeKit still. So like I do plan to still use HomeKit, primarily for controlling my smart home and stuff. I just will be using Home Assistant sort of on the back end a little bit. But for added features and like maintenance tools and stuff like that for your HomeKit setup, backups and stuff like that, it is still beneficial for that. And then also like being able to store your Matter codes, which you can, again, you can also do with the Home Pass app. So there are, I think, still some benefits for that, especially if you can get that deal like Sue just got and get 50% off, and save a little bit of money. The Controller app is one of the more expensive ones, but it's really powerful and kind of helps you manage your HomeKit setup sort of in ways you really can't do any other way. So yeah, I think there's still some benefit there. Have you connected your Home Assistant with HomeKit? Yes, I have. I have been doing that, and I'm still kind of cleaning everything up, but yeah, I have been able to do it. And that's what's been nice in this process is, trying out Home Assistant. It works. It still works. alongside of HomeKit just fine, and you can kind of take baby steps, and not piss off everybody in the house, if you're lucky and if you do it right. So we have so many smart devices that if I just like pull the plug on Apple Home altogether, my whole house, everyone in my house would probably be pretty upset with me. So it's been nice to be able to do that. If you have a Philips Hue bridge, can I connect other Zigbee devices like the Aqara water shutoff controller without an Aqara hub? Yes and no. So I don't think you can connect Aqara devices to the Philips Hue, but certain devices do work with Philips Hue. Like whiz bulbs, for example. I don't use Philips Hue a lot. I do have the bridge, so if anybody has any input, let me know. I'm not sure what the limitations are. I guess it has to like support works with Philips or something like that. But I don't think you can connect Aqara directly to the Philips Hue bridge. You're gonna want an Aqara hub for that. We got a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Your PCMD
Super chat
says, can you please do an in-depth video on getting Govee neon rope lights connected to HomeKit? Mine refuses to connect, and thank you. Well, thank you for the super chat, first of all. And yeah, I did a video actually already on the Govee neon rope light. So it was this year, probably no more than 2 months ago. So yeah, just look through my video catalog on YouTube and look for that Govee neon rope light. I think it might be titled something like My Wife's Favorite Light or something like that, because that was the first light that I installed. That was the first. I'm trying to pull it up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. For those that don't know. That was the first light that I installed that my wife truly got excited about once I installed it. And I don't remember having any issues getting it to get connected to HomeKit. So it does use Matter over Wi-Fi. So, there may be some issues there. I would ask you probably, do you have other Matter devices connected to HomeKit already that are working fine? Are you connecting it to other smart home ecosystem? So there's like a number of things to kind of go through if you're, troubleshooting. But yeah, I didn't really have any issues that I recall getting mine connected to HomeKit, and it's been working really well. I'm actually using it in Home Assistant as well, and just a really cool light. So yeah, this is the one here. So they got it in the shape of some bells right there. But my wife really liked this. I put one in our bedroom, actually. There's some photos of it. Yeah, thank you, Torin. I actually meant to say that. And IPv6. So check your router settings and make sure IPv6 is turned on. That is a requirement for Matter. So a lot of times that could be an issue there if that's not turned on. Oh, thanks, Larry. Appreciate that. Keep the YouTube algorithm happy and keep Shane fed. Thank you, Larry. Yes. Like the video. I appreciate that. GW. Slowly getting into home automation. I just got a Ring Pro doorbell. I understand it doesn't integrate well with HomeKit. Correction. It does not integrate at all with HomeKit. But can Hoobs show Ring picture-in-picture over Apple TV? It's been a long time since I've messed with Hoobs. Last time I checked, you could integrate Ring with Hoobs. I think I even did that in an older video. But I don't know. Are there any other Ring users here in the chat? Drop a comment and let us know. I'm not 100% sure about Ring. I mean, there are ways to get your non-HomeKit cameras into HomeKit. I'm using something called Scripted. It's software that runs on another computer, sort of like Hoobs. But Homebridge is another method that should work. But I think you can probably get Ring integrated through Hoobs. Oh, Ray said Ring stopped their API with Hoobs, so maybe there's some issues there. Sorry, guys. Not one personally, but I've heard of people using Ring cameras with the Apple TV via Homebridge. I imagine it still works. Yeah. So I did at one point. No, I did use Hoobs, but that was, like I said, that was a while ago. So I didn't try with Homebridge. Yeah, I've not been a huge fan of Ring stuff either. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Hey, Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Looking forward to seeing you at CES. Likewise, yeah, it's going to be a lot of smart home content creators there in the house, so that's going to be a lot of fun connecting with everybody, you and everybody else. Definitely looking forward to that. And also, I think a lot of the wives are going this year, and spouses, so that should be a lot of fun. I know Caroline is actually excited to go. I don't know if we're doing, I don't have any planned right now, but that could always change. So we shall see. Yep, only 1 month away from CES. I know I got some more questions here. So I appreciate you if you've asked, if you asked a question and you're being patient. Dylan asked, I would love to know if you have continued to stick with Home Assistant since trying it. I am. Yep, I'm still using it. Again, I'm kind of just really slowly kind of cleaning up, my automations and just my whole smart home. I have a lot of devices, and was using primarily HomeKit. So just trying to move like pretty much all my automations over to Home Assistant that I can, but I'll still use HomeKit for a lot of things as well. Any footage on the ongoing war between Apple's, who and Miss Watley? I don't know if we got any footage of it, but it is always an ongoing thing. Let's see. Sorry, just joining. So glad you do these. I saw Roborock mentioned recently, bought an S8 Max Ultra. I sure do hope they will release an update to make it Matter compatible. Yeah, the S8 Ultra Max Ultra, I think is like one of their newer flagships, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't used Roborock in a little while, but I believe that's one of their newer models. And I was told at CES this year, in January of this year, I was told by a rep at Roborock that all their newer models would be updated to support Matter. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they told me. So hopefully that means you will get an update there, but I don't know if there's been any like official announcements regarding Matter on the Roborock products. I did not get. I'm not currently using the level bolt. I replaced it with another lock a little while back. But yeah, we were just talking about this. I guess this question probably came before that. But yeah, I've been using the Level Lock Plus with Matter, and it's been pretty awesome. Nice little lock. Oh, good question. Eric says, what's your favorite outdoor smart plug for holiday lights? So I remember like a few years ago, I actually did a whole video about like all the outdoor smart plugs that I had at the time. You could still find it on YouTube, I'm sure, if you searched through my video catalog. But I think I compared like probably 5 different outdoor smart plugs at the time, and there's just even more now. There's so many. So there's a bunch that I haven't used. If I had to pick like just the most solid, just, I get the only one that you just really can't compare to is the Lutron Caseta outdoor smart plug, and that's just because that thing is built like a tank. This one right here. Yeah, this thing is just built like a tank. So it's expensive. It only has one outlet, and it does require a Lutron bridge. So those are the downsides. I used a Wemo smart plug for a while, an outdoor one. That actually worked pretty well, I think, in my testing. I don't use a bunch of these anymore because all of my outdoor lights now pretty much are all Govee, and they connect directly, to HomeKit through Matter. But yeah, Lutron Caseta is rock solid. That thing is awesome. I would probably stay away from Maris. I've heard a lot of connection issues with those. I know they have some outdoor ones, but I don't know. They might work. Let's see. Are there any that support Thread? I can't think of any outdoor plugs that support Thread. And that's another reason why the Lutron Caseta one is really good, because it uses Lutron's proprietary Clear Connect protocol. So like the range is really good on that, and it's just really probably more reliable than Wi-Fi, especially for something out in your yard. Brian, 41 months of membership. Man, Brian, you the man. Thank you so much. Brian says, have you heard anything about Govee Matter smart bulbs coming out? I have not. I guess Brian's not so happy with Nanoleaf. I've not heard anything about Govee smart bulbs that I can think of, but there are so many Matter smart bulbs, especially if you're, considering or looking at Govee, then, those are Matter over Wi-Fi. So I guess Wi-Fi is okay with you for your smart bulbs. There are so many Wi-Fi Matter smart bulbs out there that you could try out. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of them. I've got some here. Well, those are Nanoleaf. I got some of the Nanoleaf Wi-Fi ones back there behind me, but I also have some from ADOT, and there's quite a few out there. Yeah, Wiz, that's a good one, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Wiz makes a bunch very affordable. Oh yeah, well okay. I see. So you have some of the other Govee lights and want to use some of the effects. That makes sense. Let's see. Larry asks, what things were you able to do in Home Assistant that you couldn't accomplish in Apple Home? Can you give us some more details on that? Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, Home Assistant allows me to integrate a lot of devices into HomeKit that I couldn't do otherwise. I mean, I could do using something like Homey Pro or Homebridge, other solutions like that, but those are all, kind of like uncertified, unofficial solutions. So basically adding new devices to HomeKit that otherwise wouldn't support it. That's one use of it. And then also just the automation capabilities. So the ability to like send custom notifications is pretty cool. I played around with that and again, like I'm still super new to Home Assistant, so I'm sure some of you guys have some good ideas here. You can drop those in the chat if you do, but just from what I've been doing so far, just very basic level, and that's integrating devices into HomeKit that otherwise I couldn't do. So then we can use them on like, I mean, I just got a smart stove recently. How about that? Our stove crapped out on us like right before Thanksgiving. All the whole year our stove works, and it craps out right before Thanksgiving. So we didn't even have a stove on Thanksgiving. So that kind of sucked. Luckily, we were able to spend some time with friends and eat their turkey. But Anyways, got a new stove, and I was able to get that into Home Assistant. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I got that into Home Assistant, and therefore it's available in HomeKit. So I can control my stove from HomeKit. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but I don't think there's any other way I would have been able to get that stove, that oven, into HomeKit without Home Assistant. And let's see, what else am I doing? Just again, just the automation capabilities are pretty powerful. So the custom notifications is one thing. Again, the dashboards is just, it's been as difficult as Home Assistant can be in many ways. The dashboards has been, been the easiest way for me to create dashboards that I want, that I have in my mind without having to use some like crazy or difficult workarounds and different applications and stuff like that. So I've been creating dashboards for my wall-mounted iPad specifically for years now, and just the stuff in Home Assistant, it's just really cool, and there's a lot of control, so you can like show and hide things based on conditions like the time of day, or based on other, and I mentioned this one in the video, but based on other devices, you can create multiple views. So that's just been really nice, and I've really enjoyed that. So I'm looking to get more into that. But yeah, again, I'm kind of just scratching the surface, but there's definitely a lot of stuff that, HomeKit kind of limits you there. But Edgar, I'll have to double check because I really didn't mess with it much at all. Like that just happened the other night. And I just noticed, I know I can turn the oven on. I think I can control the light, see the temperature and stuff like that, but I'll have to double check and see what all is available. But I can turn it on, and I think the temperature also is available in there. So it's basically like Homebridge as far as bringing in devices to use in Apple HomeKit. Yeah, but more devices and adds additional automation conditions. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much. So like I always looked at Homebridge really as just that, a bridge between other non-compatible devices and HomeKit, right? That's what I always used it for, just to bring in devices into HomeKit. Home Assistant, it can do that also, but Home Assistant really is more of your smart home platform. That's really where you're creating automations and building out everything to actually run and operate, I think. Whereas Homebridge is, like I said, I've always just used Homebridge more as a bridge. And Home Assistant, you can just do a whole lot of crazy stuff with Home Assistant. Mainly automations is what makes it so powerful. Have you messed with scripting and using shortcuts? I would love to see what others have done to automate their homes using shortcuts. Yeah, I have. And I was actually planning on doing a video because I've had some... I've had some people ask about this, and there were actually some recent updates to some of the capabilities with iOS 18. But yeah, I have done this, and that's a good way to create more complex automations in HomeKit natively without having to rely on third-party apps or Home Assistant or anything like that. So yeah, I probably will do another video on this pretty soon. That's something I'd like to do, because they've made some good improvements, I think, with the convert to shortcut and some of the options there. Question, can you pull a car lights into Home Assistant and add them to HomeKit? Yeah, basically just about anything you pull into Home Assistant, you can expose to HomeKit, to some degree. So you could do that. I mean, a car lights support HomeKit natively, so probably wouldn't really need to do that unless maybe you just... Yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah, you can, anything that goes into Home Assistant, you can kind of route right back to HomeKit if you want. Yeah, that's a good point too there from Jeff. It does, a Home Assistant does typically expose more information from a lot of your devices, which you can also use to automate most of the time. So that's a good point. All right, let me see if we had, oh yeah. Yep, that's a good one. Steven Roblins has many short, yeah, he does a lot of shortcut videos, but ties in smart home quite a bit too. Raul says, what has been your experience post-thread update on the Nanoleaf skylight? Mine has been spotty and disconnects. I didn't think that, I don't think the Nanoleaf skylight supports thread. I think that's a Wi-Fi only. So I don't know if there's something I may have missed there, but I do use the skylight here in the studio, but I think that's just a Wi-Fi. What's the difference between wet contact and dry contact? So I'm not an electrician, but for basically like wet is going to be like your light switches and stuff like that. And then just for example, and then dry is typically going to be like lower voltage stuff, again, like doorbells. What's some other examples? You can kind of automate a lot of things with dry contact, probably like garage doors. That's probably dry contact too. So yeah, it's good to have options there. All right. Wow, we got through quite a few questions. I know I didn't get to all of them, so if I did not get to your question, I'm sorry. I do apologize, but we got through quite a few and got to cover some news. A lot of smart home stuff happening right now. I appreciate you guys all for hanging out today. It's always fun. It's great to be back. Thanks for bearing with me, the issues with the stream earlier and my lingering cold. I know I kind of sound a little off today, but it's been fun. I enjoyed this. I've got to get running so we can get ready for the members hangout tonight in Discord. That's coming up soon. So if you're a channel member, come hang out in the Discord server here in about less than 30 minutes. I'll be there and we'll be kind of talking some more and hanging out, and love to connect with all you guys there. Otherwise, it's been great hanging out with everybody. I appreciate you all. I should have another video coming out this weekend if all goes well. And yeah, we should be live streaming every Wednesday again, just like today, as long as I don't get sick again. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, God bless.